Jim. Our next guest speaker is Stephanie Gunn. Stephanie is from the NDIS. Thanks, Steph.
Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. The last time I spoke in Geelong about housing was when I looked after the Barwon trial site, and that was about 2.5 years ago. And we were then trying to think about what could we do about housing. Everybody that was coming to us wanted a better house, more independence, to change, to grow, and lots more demand. And so we put this little forum together, and we've got fantastic providers along, and we've got mums and dads thinking. And the exciting thing that in 2.5 years, when I've been doing lots of other things in the agency, so many different things have happened. So I was going to bore you with a presentation all about how SDA works, Specialist Disability Accommodation, and the Minister covered most of the details. I reckon what I'll do is just leave that with John, and Valid can pop it up on the website, and you can read it there because it's a really good explanation of how it works, what it is, understanding it, and how to make it work for you. But what I wanted to do was just reflect on what we've heard on the table today, because it is absolutely honest that there's some really not so good things happening, but also some really exciting good things happen. And so the not so good things are the types of stories for Kate, and the scary things that Jim was talking about in New South Wales. So change, as we've always said, will be challenging. And what we see in the housing part, it's the bit of disability support that has had least change for so long. So what won't be so good when we go through this change will be the time that it takes. We'll also see a real challenge about that point of matching, you know, who wants to live with me? Who am I going to find who wants to share a unit in a block of units? How am I going to find somebody who I can trust to be living next door to? How am I going to find my independent support provider, and which providers are going to be willing to come in independently in different units? And for the agency, a really clear question there is, am I going to pay the cost independently for each person when it would be cheaper if I could share an overnight person? So lots of things to really work out to make it work. But you know, did you hear all the really good, exciting things that were happening? So can I call out Keith in particular? You know, 2.5 years ago, we had these questions about what would we need to do to attract people to invest in new buildings that were state of art and appropriate for people who wanted a house. Even the dancers, you know, I want to move out. I want my own place. I want something just like everybody else has. And what do you see in what Keith was presenting there? A unit, a facility on a road that everybody else would love to live in as well. But not just that, not these crappy, old, dark, boring, great big houses, but really sexy, platinum standard, accessible with right technology. How cool is that? And you deserve that. Why aren't we? We are doing it. But how exciting is it that the new SDA arrangements will see other people follow the leadership that you see in Keith's initiative there? So that means about investment. Nobody's built new facilities for so long. That's why everybody's been waiting. Nobody's built them. So this is what the SDA component is bringing in, new money. independence for you and your family and your friends. The separation in support. If you don't like the person, you can find somebody else, but you don't have to move house. But you know what? If you don't like the house that you're in, you can also move. The SDA money goes into your plan, you give it to the house owner, but if you want to leave, you take that with you. Quality of the build, as I mentioned, and the other exciting thing is, who lives in a house with more than 5 people now? Nobody. So that's what we're going to stick at. We are going to say that SDA only, for the new builds, a maximum of 5 people in a house. And importantly, not too many other houses in the same place. So the exciting thing that I really wanted to raise, despite that transition challenge that I absolutely understand must be so frustrating, you can kick me later.
Not on my gig.
No violence? Okay, no violence.
Please.
Is actually the SDA framework does bring us hope to the really, really crucial piece for you achieving your choice and your independence and change. So watch this space, have a look at the slides that will pop up on to the Valid Conference, and there's a whole pile of information on the NDIS website as well that you can go in and see how it works. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you.